Hey everybody, Justin Chamness here, and welcome back to another episode. This is a Friday edition of the Lease Option Live Stream. That's the LOL show. Hopefully, you'll learn something today about lease options because I'm going to be diving into a live seller call. This is a live seller call that I made to a live seller. Yes, it's always fun when you call sellers that are live. But for real, we're going to jump in and dissect it a little bit. And I'm going to set the stage for that a little bit first. But first of all, I want to welcome you. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Please feel free to put things in the chat. The chat room is open, or the comments section right there where you're watching. I'll be trying to monitor that a little bit as we go through here today for about 30 minutes. But let me first of all introduce you to a wonderful concept, and that is the $29 3-day challenge. This is getting your 2024 set up. I'm not going to belabor this a lot today, but if you're looking to get your goals in line and get them watered down to what is a real plan day to day for me and my real estate wholesaling business, especially if you're looking for a creative real estate wholesaling business, if you're looking for some free materials, if you're looking for some connections and all of those goals to get set up and turned into daily habits and rituals and routines that will lead you to success, that's what we're going to be doing right there. So just join me. It's easy to do. All you have to do is visit realestatewholesalersclub.com, realestatewholesalersclub.com. And you can find there also, while you're there, at realestatewholesalersclub.com, or by visiting shutupmoney.com. You might find I have a holiday special course package. This is the course. This is from beginner to advanced. So this is everything you're going to need to come up in your knowledge in order to do lease options. Okay, everything from the basic theory all the way through the advanced maneuvers workshop replay also included, plus a 15-minute call with me. You could cancel that if you wanted to, because I understand not everybody likes me, but they want to get the course. All right, all right. Now everybody loves me. You guys are gonna love me. You've heard me say that, right? You've heard me say that. I tell homeowners that you're going to love me. You're going to love me. I love to say that when they start out saying something like, well, you're the 14th person that's called me with this offer, and that's a wholesaler, and I'm so sick and tired of all of those low ball offers. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It sounds like you've had a horrible experience with those other fellows. But I promise you, you're going to love me. And that's how I say it too. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? But it works. I'll tell you that. You're going to love me. You got to try it. Set the stage. Instead of becoming defensive, just tell them what you want them to do. You're going to love me. And then you're going to go on and you're going to say, now, what is it about those other fellows that you didn't like? And how can I make an offer today that fits you so we can do business? Just see what she says or he says. Yeah. That's putting the spotlight right on them and saying, let's get right to the nitty gritty. Okay. That's how I like to do it. All right. So anyway, that's just a little tip, but we're going to jump into a real call and we're going to analyze it. But first of all, I want to make you aware that when I'm creating leads, oh, by the way, YouTube took down my video yesterday about leads, and they censored me because I violated the community guidelines and I'm in violation of the harassment and cyberbullying. And if you remember, the whole video was about leads, people that are already advertising their stuff on Zillow publicly. What is cyberbullying about that? I do not know, but they they have declared so. So here we are. And now that video is gone. So that just goes to show you, if you didn't see yesterday, you can still catch it on Facebook or let's see, Twitter. Let's see, what else is it? Twitch. Okay, it's on a lot of other platforms. You can still catch it there. So go ahead and hook up with me over on one of these other platforms, not Instagram, not TikTok. Okay, I'm not a glamour girl. And I'm also not like 11 years old. Okay, so I am not on those two platforms, but you can find that show, yesterday's show, on any like Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, not YouTube now. YouTube has determined. Okay. And I have appealed and they have reappealed. You know what I'm saying? I've been peeled, like I'm down to the core on this issue. So yeah, there's just no way that video's coming back alive on YouTube. It's a strange world that we live in, and I know I'm kind of complaining here a little bit, but I just want you to be aware that it's actually a real struggle for your favorite content creators to show you real insider stuff and keep it on YouTube. This is not the first time this has happened. It's happened a lot. All right. So when you find somebody that you love on YouTube, wink, wink, you're going to love me. Make sure you show a little love, like, subscribe, share, because it's a tough racket. It's a tough racket just keeping videos up. Okay, and we do it because we having fun doing it. That's why when we have fun interacting with you guys, and sometimes we make a little money here and there. Yeah, like I'm selling that $95 course package. That's crazy, man. That's crazy cheap. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the topic of today, which is this live seller call. But first thing I want you to know is I'm sending out leads, and I'm sending out text messages to create leads, which is what the video was about yesterday, which is why we got onto that topic. Okay. See, there is some method to the madness. So now, if you've got good leads, like the video yesterday talked about, which you can still find on Facebook, then what you'll want to do is pre-qualify those leads. And I talked about that yesterday, pre-qualifying the leads, and you're going to want to pre-qualify them with these 6 questions. And I'm not going to go through this in detail, but this is basically the 6 questions. And, when I make the first phone call, see the last one is Zoom or call. That's because I want to call them. Okay. Ultimately, the objective is to pre-qualify them, throw the bad ones away, and then find some good ones in there that are answering good on these questions. And then they are going to, if they're qualified like that, if they've answered good, then hopefully they're going to set an appointment with me, and I'm going to move them over into my call these, and try to set an appointment with them, and hopefully get that accomplished. An appointment to call. Now, what am I going to say? This is what I call a 2-call close. Okay. And I just like a 2-call close. Sometimes it turns into a 3-call, but hopefully just a 2-call. And the real estate, and I talk about this in my course. If you're one of my students, this is one of the insider courses. It's not publicly available to anybody except students. And it's called Mastering the Phone to Get Property Deals. And in it, I talk about the 2-call close, and I tell you how to set one up. Okay. But this here is really how you set one up in short today. And that is, I'm going to share screens. I've got a script. This is basically a scripted out version of the first phone call. So if you were to go through here and read it word for word, what you'd find is you'd find that it's basically just these pre-qualification questions in a scripted out format. Okay. So while I'm telling everybody, you create your lead, you get it through email, you create your lead, you get it through REI Reply or whatever platform it's on your lead. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to pre-qualify that. I recommend through messaging, either email or however you're communicating, before getting on the phone. Confirm these things, pre-qualify them, and then set up that Zoom call. Okay. Now that Zoom call is the first call. So you'll see that first call, the script
basically just goes through these things we've already asked over messaging. So the script is just us going through this verbally with the homeowner. And included in that also is a little bit of fact finding about, like, hey, is there update your computer and then stuff don't work right? And you're like, well, this really wasn't a step forward, was it? It really wasn't. Okay, now, before everybody jumps off and calls me a conspiracy theorist, I'm just saying that Windows update did something. And I don't like it. All right. So, anyway, I don't know where I was at when I dropped off. God bless you if you're still watching. Thank you for being here, Ty. I'm glad you're here, man.
Hey, good to see you. Yeah, you're good. The whiteboard.
I couldn't really hear you, man. It cut out, man.
That's weird.
All right. I heard white. I heard something about you, and then whiteboard. That was all. Like the first and the last word. This whiteboard.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah. So this whiteboard is the prequel. Basic. This is the prequel. So this, when we get a lead, you're gonna message it one way or another. Okay. Email, text message. You're gonna prequal it a little bit and find out these questions. You'll see the last question is the setting up a phone call. So if you were to break the script down, now when you call, I've got a script, for everybody to use if they need to use a script to rely on at first. This is the only scripted out part. But this script, and I'm going to share screens and show it again, because it basically, if you broke it down into an outline here, what you would have is you would have this same outline with a little bit of phone stuff thrown in. The difference also would be down here, instead of setting up another Zoom call, it would be, I'm going to send you my written offer to your email, and then setting up another Zoom call to follow up on that document that you're sending out. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that would be the script. So you can see everything so far in this whole process of deal getting is really formulaic. So we're just so far, we're getting a lead automatically from some platform. REI Replies, what I'm using, and it's either showing up in my email or in REI Reply, and then I'm asking these questions through messaging, and then I'm getting on the phone, and then I'm kind of going through the script. Even myself, I use my own script because it's just the formula of of asking these questions verbally in a nice professional way, and then getting an offer for email, an email address to send an offer, and then setting up a Zoom call to go over the offer. So it's the same formula as what we've already been through. So you can see by the time I get on the phone with a lead, that lead is already really pre-qualified very well. Okay, so I'm gonna, when I say very well, I mean pretty good, you know. They've answered all those questions on text or email, and now I'm getting on the phone with them or Zoom. I'm going to verbally go through the script, which does all of those things. That's the entire first conversation. I'm going to send them an agreement, and then I'm going to come back and have another telephone session, which I'll tell you is really, the second phone call is really where the heavy lifting is going to be, because they're going to have any questions, objections, stalls, all of that's going to come out in the second meeting after you've sent the actual written agreement, which is your offer. All right. So with that in mind, okay, sorry, I tend to ramble, but it's because I got cut off and I don't know where I got cut off at. All right. So let me go ahead and share screens here, and I want to play a phone call. I have altered, everybody, I have altered the sound. It is not your computer. Obviously, I've altered the sound because I don't want this video taken down for harassment and bullying. Okay. If you appreciate that, give me a thumbs up somewhere or something. All right. Love you guys. I'll try to not pause this overly, but we'll probably pause this a few times to analyze it.
Hey, it's Justin.
Hi, this is Lou. I was texting you. What's your name? Charles. Charles. My name is Lou. I was texting you the other day. We had a 4 p.m. meeting. I'm an investor. My partner is on the line. I just want to introduce you. His name is Justin.
Hi, nice to meet
Justin,
you.
you still there? Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Nice to meet
You
you.
as well.
You got a condo, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and we're interested in maybe
That's true.
making an offer, something creative. Are you getting any creative offers besides us, or are we the only ones? Or
Pretty much, they're going to be straight cash offers, but I'm not shutting my door on any option of this.
okay, all right, I understand. Yeah. So I guess maybe we should just start with what's important to you, because like I was saying, Lou and I are interested in making maybe a creative offer here for 12 months, maybe 24. And that really is because interest rates are so high. And so we're hoping that in that time frame, we'll be able to secure a better deal than the current mortgage rates, if that makes sense. And so what Lou and I want to do is we want to put some good people in there, because we're investors also. I think you are probably too, but I don't know. But Lou and I, we were ultimately.
I already have, the good. Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
The good thing is that that is a rental for me. Actually, I have it currently rented. And there are the folks that I've been currently talking to are interested in something just straight turnkey like that.
Okay, so let me pause here and interject a little bit, because what we're finding now in the market a lot, guys, is we're finding that there are motivated homeowners out there, like for sale by owner people that live in the property that want to move or have already moved. But what we're also finding is a substantial amount of landlords out there. Now, when we're talking about landlords, I mean tired landlords. So we are not really, when we think, I don't know about you, but we're probably programmed to think like tired landlord equals ugly rundown house that the tenant beat up and destroyed, but that's not always the case. Tired landlords can be very pretty houses, and in this case it happens to be a very nice condo. But he is definitely, so I've pinpointed, obviously, in finding the facts out here just through conversation. And I haven't really followed the script that tightly, but I wish I had. But you'll see that it's just a basic call. I'm fact finding. I'm asking, I'm trying to make him like me while finding out the information that I already told you I'm trying to confirm. But you can see I've already pinpointed the motivation for this fella is he's kind of a tired landlord.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So
But of course, if you guys purchase it, you can do anything you want with it. I mean, it becomes that simple.
right. I understand that too. So what Lou and I are proposing is that we would bring someone to the table that wants to be a retail buyer, and instead of getting in the way of them and you, basically what we would do is we would assign our position over to them. Okay. So does that make sense at all, or maybe I've lost you already?
No, I think I'm still tracking you.
Okay, so I can tell this guy's pretty intelligent. So that was my way of explaining the exact motions of a lease option to this fellow. You can tell he's a pretty bright fella. He's probably college educated. He probably thinks he's an intelligent guy too, and that's nothing wrong with that. He's right. And so I phrase that in at least probably a bachelor's degree level. Now, most people you've heard me describe lease options to a little slightly different. I've said, "Oh, here's what me and Lou want to do. We want to put some good people in there that want to buy the house. We're going to make some money from them doing this, but we're smart enough to know this has to first fit you." So, would you consider leasing the property for 24 months and selling it during that time frame, or is this just not a worth talking about? Now, that's like fifth grade level. Okay. So, you kind of get fluid a little bit with this when you've done it a while, and you can explain it quickly in a couple, 2, 3 different ways, a fifth grade level for most people. But every now and then you need to be able to describe it in a way that sounds a little more like, hey, I even mentioned assignment here. Yes, sir. We want to strike a deal with you. And then with your approval, we want to assign it to some people that you and I both approve of here. Does that make sense, sir? I'm going to make money charging them a fee. Yes, that's how. How that is just very simple and smart. But he definitely caught it. Okay, so he said, "Yes, I'm tracking you." Okay.
Okay, great. So ultimately, Lou and I don't want to buy the property. What we want to do is we want to assign with your approval. Or you could disapprove too. Tell me no anytime you want to. Really, that's fine. But in what we want to accomplish is we would like to get something worked out with you that's suitable for you, where you'll make potentially more money than you would selling through a realtor or some other means. And not only that, but this will make it a good purchase for somebody within a certain time frame, like 12 months. So, in other words, we give you pretty much full market value in that time frame. And these individuals, well, if you approve them, we'll assign our position over to them and walk away and let them buy the house right from you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, is that maybe a non-starter for you? Is that like?
No, I mean, it sounds interesting, but obviously, talk is one thing, details are different.
That's true. That is true. So, what I was hoping to do today is I was hoping to work out a few details with you to possibly put together something in writing that I could email to you that would maybe become a more concrete idea. And that's all. So
Okay.
if we can come up with something that fits, great. And if not, then we'll quit, but we'd like to take a shot at it. So really the key points for me are, one, if you're open to that. If you are, that means that you'd be open to leasing the property and selling it at your estimate.
All right, check how basic I'm getting with the guy now. I'm saying now I'm going to take it back just briefly.
Points for me are,
the big
one,
points for
if you're
me
open
are,
to that. If you are, that means that you'd be open to leasing the property and selling it at your asking price here. Or I guess I could say full market value, because really they're going to want to have the house appraised, or they're going to have to have something for their lender when they go to get the loan. So that's really what I mean by that. But full market value is fine. And what would you need monthly? I think you told us. I think maybe you told us in a text message before, but I don't see it here currently. And then maintenance, we'll take on maintenance. Really, our side of the deal. Those folks will be happy to take on maintenance.
Zillow estimate and what he was asking was about the same.
I don't know what else to do. What's important to you? I mean, what do we need to talk about to make the deal work?
I love that question.
Well, again, I will, I actually just need to actually just get and have my attorney look at your offer, and figure out, what it actually, says.
Okay.
And then, then obviously, if it makes sense, financially, I mean,
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
12 months is, it's only 12 months.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm desperate or anything like that.
I understand. Yeah.
Not very
Well,
motivated.
that's great. I mean, and
Motivated,
like I
but
said
not very
before, if
motivated.
it's not a good fit, that's okay. You can tell me no anytime, but it is
Of
just,
course.
it's just selling within a time frame. That's also, it's like giving somebody, just room to do that. And we're going to write this up where you'll have the ability to approve or disapprove that individual. So it's not like, you decide today and then I decide tomorrow. That's not how it will be. So we're going to do our best to make this fit based on my past experiences with other folks that I've done this with. And then, hopefully we can get back on the phone and rendezvous with you, and you can tell me all the things that may need to change with it, because I'm probably not married to the paperwork here. I'm okay with changing some stuff if it needs to change. I just need you to be able to tell me what it is.
I love that line too, because see, I'm already setting up a second call because this guy's saying, "Oh, I just need to take a look at your offer." So I'm going to send him a written offer. I'm getting all the details lined out to send him a written offer. And now, he's basically he's already closed. Okay. So now I'm just trying to set up that second call. I'm moving to, remember the phrase, always be closing. Now I'm going to set up that second call. Okay, well then after you've looked at the agreement, when I've sent it, we need to talk again because I'm not married to the paperwork. There's probably something in it you won't like. And let's not just divorce each other right away. Let's talk about it first. Okay.
And if we can do something great, and if we can't, that's fine too, man. So I guess if that's if you're agreeable to that, maybe we just get your email address, and then Lou and I put something together in black and white and get it over to your email address, and then we can talk in a couple days or something after that if you want.
Yeah, let me text Lou my email address so he has
Boom.
it.
Perfect.
Close.
That sounds
Do
great.
that right now.
Boom.
Great.
Written offer going out to this guy, and he's giving
So
us
how long have you
verbal-
owned it? How long have you owned
a
this condo?
verbal thumbs up so
And
far.
do you mind me asking what the condo fees are?
Yeah, of course. I owned it for over 20 years.
Wow.
And the condo fees are $300 a month.
Okay.
So see, I've already closed the guy, but I still don't have all the information confirmed. So I'm going back and I'm trying to figure out now what rent needs to be and what some of the stuff needs to be, because I need to fill out my agreement. And if you're not familiar with the agreement, then you don't know what you need to know. You see how all this ties together? All right. So
that's I was gonna guess more than that, man. But that's cool. Okay.
I haven't seen what next year is, but they haven't raised it in the past few years more than about like $5 or so, $10 maybe.
Yeah. Are they pretty good? I mean, you've been there 20 years, so they must be survivable, right? As far as condo associations go.
I mean, yeah. I've never had any concern with that. They seem to be very responsive. If there are any issues, that is their responsibility. I mean, even the process of transferring ownership. It's not like some associations where you have to meet with the board and
Right.
they have to see your pretty face and crap like that. It's basically before we fill out, get both parties on it, sign it, transfer them within 2 business days. They approve it. So I mean, it's fairly rubber stamped on that end.
Okay, great. All right, well, good. So, if you'll send that text over to us, we'll put them in there in the agreement too, and that way they can be taken care of. I don't know how you do that monthly or along with some invoice that they send, or how that works. But do you want to just?
I just pay them. I just go online and
Okay.
pay them. Between the first and the month. I mean,
So I'm literally just trying to figure out what the rent is. Okay. And I know it sounds like it should be an easy thing, but it's been difficult with this guy for some reason. He's already interested enough. He wants an offer written. He wants to talk to his attorney. In other words, he wants to see if it makes sense for him and all that. Hey, look, I'm cool with that. But I need to know what the rent is so I can put it on the agreement here. Plus, I need to know if it's a good deal or not. So this will help me.
Okay,
they
great.
get a check from my bank, I guess.
Okay, no problem. And what
I mean,
month?
I'm sure they probably have auto They may have some auto feature as well, but I don't like doing that. I prefer just to, do it myself.
So surely, you're going to want, if we do this with somebody, that you're going to want them to send the money directly monthly to you, I'm sure. And so what would I put in for the dollar amount monthly here? What's the nut for you?
So again, I'm confirming that we're going to assign this. We're going to make a marriage between my tenant buyer and him. And I'm asking him again, please tell me, what is the rent?
To make all of this work, if we were to give somebody the 12 months to purchase the condo, in other words, does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I don't have an answer for you right now. I mean, I just don't.
Well, what are you renting the place for now? You said it was kind of a rental for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting $1,000 a month now.
Okay, all right. So if it can't be less than that, then. So all right. So if I put 1,000 in the offer, does that make sense, or are you going to be disappointed with 1,000?
I mean, you can put anything you want. I just need to read it and
Okay.
talk to people smarter than me
Okay, I understand.
to make any changes if necessary.
Okay, no problem. And that 1,000 that does or does not include the condo fee.
It would not.
Okay, all right.
Let me back up a little bit here. I understand street lease to own because I have another condo that I'm actually doing a lease to own.
Okay,
But there's actually a physical tenant that I'm doing with, not doing this way through a third party intermediary. So so that's why I'm a little hesitant. When you're asking me, for numbers at this time because we've only been talking now for less
Sure.
minutes.
sure, right. And I understand where you're
I'm
coming
not
from.
going to commit myself to anything at this time. So I hope you can understand that.
I can totally understand that, but I also I would like to make an offer that makes sense if I can too. So that's all I'm asking for.
Of course.
Yeah. So
I get it.
we'll do the best we can with what you've given us, which is I think probably enough really for us to get started. So we'll get something written up here and get it over to you either this evening or in the morning, and maybe we can talk again Friday, maybe if you're open to that. If you're not totally.
No, I don't have to say how my. No. I mean, let me. It'd probably be more likely it'll be a Monday thing
Okay.
because I will need to talk to people.
Okay,
And
okay.
it's just
That's fine.
it takes a little while to get it, review it,
I can respect that.
provide you with some expert advice.
Absolutely, I can respect that totally. So we'll plan on making it work like that, and we'll try to get it over to you tonight or in the morning, and then we'll try to rendezvous if you have any interest left on Monday. But appreciate your time today, sir. And is it okay if while we're putting this together, if we run up on a question, if we shoot you a text or something, is that okay?
Okay, I recommend that you go ahead. You didn't hear me do it there, but I recommend you go ahead and set a time, not just an arbitrary, hey, we'll get together and rendezvous again on Monday. And the reason why I did not set a time is because this is one of my students, and I did not know if I was going to be available at the same time he was going to be available on Monday. So I didn't know what time to pick. So I didn't pick a time. I just kind of left it hanging a little bit there. But at the very end, you definitely want to pick a time on Monday, hey, or whatever day it is. So that's you can see a basic call. Now let's analyze this call just quickly. And it was about 11 and a half minutes long. Okay. So in 11 and a half minutes, I got all the information I need to analyze the deal. I got all the information I need to understand his motivation and his motivation level. And I also got enough information to fill out the agreement and his email address to send a written offer. That's what I accomplished, all of that in this 11 and a half minutes. So what I need to do now is I need to do that exact thing. I need to analyze the deal. I need to make sure that it's something worth screwing around with. All right. And then I'm going to put together an agreement, try to get it, over to him, set that firm's second appointment back up. Hey, listen, I'm not married to the paperwork. There's probably a typo in there. There's probably something in there I forgot to do or something, let them know that, hey, this isn't a one and done. I'm looking to back and forth a little. Open the door for some back and forth a little because you want them to be able to express, hey, I don't understand what line number 7 means. Okay. All of this I'm trying to set up. All right. So the script, that's helpful when you're getting going. I didn't really follow the script. Let's talk about this guy's motivation and his motivation level. He is a tired landlord for sure. Okay. What do we know about him? In that 11 and a half minutes, he told me several things that were key factors in this conversation. Number one, I've owned this property for over 20 years. It is a rental for me, he said. He is a tired landlord immediately. We also know he's been renting the property out for $1,000 a month. He says, plus HOA fee. I do not believe him. HOA fee, the condo fee, $300 a month. So he's insinuating that the rent was $1,300 a month. I'm saying that he's lying to me. Okay. Later in the conversation, I just have a sense that he is. Okay. Because when I said he said $1,000 a month is the what I'm collecting in rent right now. I said, okay, well then, or was on the last tenant before it became vacant. And he said, 1,000 a month. And I said, does that include the condo association fee? And he said, no, it doesn't. And it made me think, yeah, it probably does. Okay. All right. So I don't know. Either way, the rent is probably not too high. Okay. It's a pretty cheap condo. All right. Even with the HOA fee or the condo fee of $300. All right. So we know his motivation is a tired landlord. I didn't turn the screws on it very much, did I? I should have. I didn't dig much into that topic. I should have. But I did determine a motivation level of about 4. Okay. What was this guy's ultimate objective in me sending him an agreement? Does anyone know? Ty, you're in the room. Sorry if I ran you off. What was this guy's objective in having me send him an offer? You want to take a shot?
Do you say like there's a third party involved or something?
So after 11 minutes of conversation,
Yeah.
he says, well, I understand what lease option is, and I've even got one going on another condo of mine, but it's not where there's a third party involved, insinuating me as the third party.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just send me your offer, and if it makes sense, we'll do it. Okay. So what I heard though was this. Now we went ahead and sent him an offer because it's good practice. But what I heard was this. Sir, after 10 and a half, 11 minutes of conversating, Justin, yes, I'm actually experienced in lease option. I know how to do one. I'm even doing one right now on another property, but I'm real curious as to how you're doing it. And I'd love to see your agreement so I could steal any great ideas you have. Will you send me an offer so me and my attorney can look at it? That's exactly what he was saying. So, in fact, even though this guy was saying yes, 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 all the way through, and he seemed really nice and flexible, it was a no deal. No deal. Wah, wah. Why? Because the guy was shopping me. He was just looking for a free education. I wish I had sound effects. You know.
It's like that. What's that show? You pick a number.
Yeah.
Deal. Is that Deal or No Deal? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a bad lead, turns out. But we didn't know that because he passed the qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the phone call, you can see it was close, but it was a slightly different flavor he was using on the phone. All right. So, and that wasn't necessarily the best pitch of mine. I did not stick to my script, and I kind of probably should have stuck a little more tightly to it. That's what happens. It's easier in a way for a newer person to have success because they're not if they'll just follow the scripts or follow the instructions and so on and so forth. An older guy like me, I'm so confident in this that I get loosey with it, I get all screwy, and I'll get off the path and then I'll get lost. I'll find my way back, and sometimes I don't find my way back. That's just reality. So for a new person, I kind of think about it like I heard about somebody saying kung fu or martial arts is like this. Maybe martial arts in any respect, not just kung fu. But yeah, that the most dangerous opponent is a brand new person, because if you're fighting somebody that's is a trained, skilled, jujitsu person or something, you might know some of their moves that they use, because they're trained. But that new person, he's going to be doing some wild stuff. And sometimes that really works in your favor in real estate too. When you step out there as a beginner and you're just following a script and you're really just trying to your best to stick to it and sound like a human and be personable too all at the same time, but you're scared because you don't really understand how all of it connects just yet. Hey, that's great. You're dangerous. You really are. So you should step out there. If you're looking for a way to step out there, this $29 thing is really great. You should check it out at realestatewholesalersclub.com. And you should learn about how to make sandwiches because those are delicious. Ty, when was the last time you made a sandwich?
I made one, I think, yesterday. I like the raisin bread with ham and
Yeah,
cheese.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. It sounds good. I've never had it, but I want it. You know, the raisin bread's got me sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good stuff, man.
All right. Well, what did one hat say to the other hat?
Something top off. I don't know.
Stay here. I'm going on ahead.
Uh,